Welcome to Coaching Ourselves. I'm going to give a brief introduction to the idea of coaching ourselves, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about how to make it successful and valuable for you. And I'm going to talk in the third part about the theory of management behind coaching ourselves. So first, the big context. Coaching ourselves is a structured opportunity for managers to meet regularly, to discuss in more and more depth and deeper appreciation of the real work of managing. This is more difficult than it seems because we are very practiced at talking about our jobs in managing as if it is something to be thrown away with light words. And we have to take time to listen carefully to our own experience and to each other's experience. And from listening carefully comes much insight and appreciation, and more importantly, curiosity. It's such an interesting job, managing. And the real opportunity of coaching ourselves is to grow more curious and more interested in what is involved in making things happen, in working with people to develop new opportunities and to solve very difficult problems when they arise, in order to create more value in the working lives of all of us. Coaching ourselves is important for another reason. It brings concepts, clear, well thought out, scientific concepts from the world of the great scholars of into the daily practicing life of managers. Now, in old style management education, managers would have to take time away from work to go to hear the professors in the business school. But in coaching ourselves, we bring the ideas from the professors into the workplace, so the conversations amongst managers can be reframed to look at them in a new light, in the light of these ideas. Each session is 75 minutes long, which is just the right time to understand some new ideas, to try them out with one's own experience, and to look forward into the week ahead to think how one might start to manage a little bit differently. So that's the basic idea of coaching ourselves. Now I want to talk a little bit how to make it successful and valuable for you. The first point is to arrive at each session with a lively curiosity and interest in what is your own experience and what is the experience of other people. Each session begins with management happenings. We reflect and think back on our experience of managing in the last week or 2 weeks. And by quietly thinking, remembering the problems we've had to deal with, we begin to bring them into a new focus. And we discover that other people in the group are maybe having some similar problems, facing them in a different way, using some different attitudes and skills, or we find they're doing something quite different. And this opens up our eyes to what's happening inside the company. So curiosity is the starting point. Second point is reflectiveness. It's very difficult for a busy manager, especially at the start of coaching ourselves, to imagine how valuable some quiet reflection can be. But the big and very special opportunity you have with coaching ourselves is to structure this time for reflection and to discover how much you really know. So we have curiosity and reflection. And the third point is bring your critical, analytical attention to each session. So when other people are speaking about their managerial happenings, or when the new concepts are brought on the table in each session, think carefully about them. Do you really believe it that way? Does it match with your own point of view? Can you see it from another angle? Don't just receive these stories or this material as if it's unchallengeable, as if you can't engage with it. No, it's your responsibility to think carefully and deeply about it, and then you will find it most rewarding. So finally, I want to talk about the philosophy behind coaching ourselves, the philosophy of managing. What is managing? Well, we like to think of this as like weaving a beautiful piece of cloth from different colours. And in particular, there are 5 different colours which we're weaving the cloth of managing. And these are different mindsets, 5 ways to think, 5 ways to approach the world. And the first of these is reflectiveness. If we're not reflective, we can't think about or learn from our experience. We bring no intelligence to the job. But reflecting alone is the work of the monk or the nun. It's not the work of a manager. You have to also be very active to have a drive to make things happen, to change things. So another mindset is the action mindset. But to act and to reflect, soon develops into more thoughtful relationship between what I do and what I think, what happens. This is the beginning of an analytical mindset. So we have reflective, action, and analytical. Now, nothing gets done in this world without other people. It's only by collaborating with other people that new possibilities are discovered, and especially managing. Managing is all about relationships. So one more mindset is collaborative mindset. This is that inner urge to connect with other people, to create something valuable and new together, and to discover opportunities that can only be made when 2 different people come together. This is the collaborative mindset. And finally, the 5th mindset is worldliness. Now, worldliness is not the same as global. Let me explain the difference. A global mindset is when we see the whole world as one. And that's very important in business. Actually, most of the discussion about business assumes the world is one. But you don't get anything done on that level of abstraction. Really making business work is when you understand the shoes that somebody else is standing in, how the world looks from where they are. And this requires a generous spirit to put yourself in their shoes, to see the world from their point of view. And this is the spirit or the mindset of worldliness. There's another aspect of worldliness, which is practical wisdom. It's that knowledge which comes from experience, of many years of making things happen, of working with people. Sometimes you can't say why you think something is true, but you know it is from your experience. This is worldly wisdom. So we have 5 mindsets: reflective, action, analytical, collaborative, and worldly. And managerial work is these 5 mindsets woven into the daily tasks of managing. I hope you'll enjoy coaching ourselves, discovering so much more about managing, becoming better at it, and helping others to become better at it. I wish you the very best.